All right. So, what is going on, guys? In today's Apple news, we have some interesting stuff going on. We have a Siri overhaul, as well as a lawsuit related to Apple. We have a lot of different things related to the law in today's video. We also, like I mentioned, have a class action lawsuit with Siri, as well as we're going to dive into Apple smart glasses, which I think is kind of exciting. Lastly, a antitrust lawsuit that may change the way the App Store works in the future. All right, so let's talk about this Siri overhaul. So there is news that Apple is working, but they've been working with OpenAI for a while, but they're working with OpenAI and other language model companies to integrate those language models into Siri this year. I just said Siri and my iPad went kind of crazy. And this kind of changes since it's kind of going away from Apple's strategy. Of course, um, of them not relying on third parties to help their intelligence when it relates to Siri. So Apple and Siri, they do lag behind the competition because it just has issues understanding its users from a contextual standpoint, as we all know. But I would say partnering with these firms can definitely take a serious capability to the next level because it doesn't really have a level at this point, as far as I'm concerned. But it does raise some questions about data and privacy. So those are definitely concerns and how it will definitely impact Apple's ecosystem. All right, so the next news is related to Apple having to pay 110 million for infringing on wireless technology patents. Now, this verdict was actually reached on July 1st, which is today. And I mean, I feel like this. I feel like wireless businesses, or even Apple, with them being a top dog, means a lot of different companies. It's just a matter of time before you're infringing on someone's patents. And you have these patent farms that really don't make anything. They're just waiting for companies to remotely do something that looks similar to a patent that they hold. So it is what it is, and I guess this is just the world when it relates to patents. But I do think it's a bunch of crap. But at the same time, I do feel like companies like Apple, they can definitely be somewhat shady sometimes uh, when they just, are fighting to be competitive. So they do maybe infringe on some people's patents from a realistic standpoint, if that makes sense. Next story, Siri's actual privacy settlement. So tomorrow is the last day if you want to be a part of, I think it's a class action lawsuit that Apple had lost for $95 million. It's so funny that I'm saying $95 million because this is probably chump change for Apple, but I'm not actually sure what this class action lawsuit was for. But if you do want to be a part of it, if you had a Siri-enabled device between September 17th of 2014 through December the 31st of 2024, which I guess is like almost everyone. So many people probably had those devices. I know I did, but I didn't move forward. So you definitely may be in luck. You can actually score yourself $20, but there is a maximum of 5 devices. So I guess that's $100 that you can use to buy more Apple stuff. But it does require a sworn statement. And if you are from the hood, you know what they say about snitches, they get stitches. I'm just joking. I don't think Apple's going to come after you and give you stitches. Anyway, let's talk about smart glasses. And I think this is pretty exciting. Even though I would say it is exciting, but it's just so frustrating sometimes because other companies they're always so ahead of Apple when it comes to this stuff. But we continue to buy Apple stuff, and I think the biggest reason we do is because Apple likes to sit in the cut and wait for the technology to mature, and then they can, bring it to its users in a more refined manner. So can't be mad at that, but it is kind of sucky to be kind of standing on the sideline like, oh, that's so cool. I wonder when Apple's going to bring that to the table. But Apple is planning a pair of Meta smart glass style smart glasses, also a lighter version of the Vision Pro, which is expected to ship in 2027, which seems like a lifetime away, but it's just around the corner. Also, there are rumors of a Vision Pro with the M5 chip that may drop as early as this quarter. Hopefully, I would say if this M5 Vision Pro does come out, it makes the original Vision Pro cheaper. But it has to. I don't see why not. It should make it cheaper, but no one knows at this point. But I am curious to know what will the M5 Vision Pro bring to the table that the original one does not have, other than more processing power. My guess is you're going to see more Apple intelligence with the M5, maybe better battery. I don't know, but it is supposed to release this quarter, which will be interesting. And the last story, which I guess is pretty sad for Apple's part, a federal judge rejected Apple's motion to dismiss a Department of Justice antitrust lawsuit. Now, this is related to Apple's restrictive ecosystem, which we all know is very restrictive. It's like, if you buy Apple Watch, there's really nowhere else you can actually use it besides on an iPhone, or even, if you have a pair of AirPods. While you can use, with other Bluetooth-enabled devices, you're not going to be able to take full advantage of all its features. So I'm not really too mad at the judge for rejecting Apple's motion to dismiss the lawsuit. So to kind of wrap things up, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Siri if they decide to start using a third-party model, and how that will impact privacy. And don't forget about that $110 patent lawsuit Apple lost for infringing on wireless patents. July 2nd, last day, if you want to collect your $20 for that class action lawsuit for the $95 million in Apple smart glasses, the Ray-Ban Meta Apple glasses, coming in 2027. What else? The lawsuit towards the Apple limiting their hardware and software for their own ecosystem. Otherwise, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments what you think about today's news, and I will catch you tomorrow. Later. Bye-bye.